Good Wednesday morning, Quad Cities. Thanks for logging on to get an update on your accurate forecast. And of course, we're tracking this storm system coming in, the first potent winter storm of the season. And I want to emphasize a winter storm warning in place. This begins midnight tonight. Goes through the first part of your Christmas Eve day. There you see 6 o'clock Saturday morning. It's not all about the snowfall amount with this system. It's about the fact that this is going to be very light snow that moves easily. And with winds coming in at 50 miles an hour, the big concern is we could see blizzard and whiteout conditions as early as Thursday afternoon. Now, Knox County, you're not included in this yet, but I do expect this entire warning to be expanded eastward by later this morning when that forecast update comes out. A lot of you have been asking me via text, also online, when do I need to leave if I'm going to be traveling? This is more specifically driving. If you're heading west, you need to leave right now, no later than this morning. Heading north by noon today, south and east, I would say leave by 7 o'clock tonight if you can. You'll avoid the worst of the storm if you do that. If you plan on sticking around and you need to travel locally, here's your timeline in terms of the impacts with this storm. Snow begins a little bit earlier now. We're thinking right around 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The snow will taper off even earlier now, noon. But it's noon onward all the way through Friday night, where you see I've got it in red here. That's when I expect the strongest winds and the lowest visibility and the most widespread whiteout conditions, making travel very difficult. We will get lighter winds in here as early as noon Christmas Eve, and from there on out through Christmas Day, I do expect easier travel as the winds continue to lighten up. So your biggest impact, again, it's not snow. That's at the very bottom of this list. It's blowing snow with whiteout conditions, strong wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour, followed by those dangerously low wind chills that could drop down to 40 below zero, especially on Friday. So let's go through future track, kind of take you hour by hour here. This is tonight, 9 o'clock, snow beginning to break out to our west. This is light snow. This will come down fairly light again, about an inch of accumulation by the time we start tomorrow morning, if that. And then the heavier snow band will work in right around the morning commute, 7, 8 o'clock. That will continue up until about noon, and then the accumulating snow will come to an end. But here comes the wind, the bitterly cold temperatures. Some of you will be below zero before we even hit sunset tomorrow evening as that really strong wind begins to work in. So overall, again, it's not about a lot of snow. We're not expecting feet of snow with this. Only 2 inches or so here in the Quad Cities, a couple of scattered 3-inch amounts here and there, but it's the wind that's going to pick all that up and move it around. Big impacts expected, especially on your north-south roads initially. As the winds crank up, there's a 37-mile-an-hour wind gust by Thursday night, but it gets even stronger into Friday, where nearly all roads will start to be impacted. Look at that, 47 miles an hour by Friday afternoon, and it continues to strengthen into Friday night. That's why I've extended our travel difficulty timeline a little bit later into Friday night. But by Saturday, especially afternoon, evening into Sunday, there you see some lighter winds starting to move in, not nearly as much of a problem getting around. So once the wind calms down, then we're going to focus on the big chill, including those dangerous wind chills near 40 below for Friday morning. I don't see any improvement on that until we get to about Christmas Day, and even then, it's still significantly below zero. So you need to keep an eye on your pets, limit their time outside. Also make sure you're layering up. That's frostbite in less than 15 minutes, by the way, with numbers that are that low. We are going to see some notable improvement once we get beyond Christmas. The pattern does remain quiet through early next week, so getting back home won't be much of an issue. And even temperatures to greet you if you're coming back on Wednesday, that'll be pushing near 40 degrees. Make sure and download the News 8 app and the Storm Track 8 app. Plus, follow us on our iHeartMedia radio partners for the latest update on this winter storm.